La Osa Menor is a collection of my father's poetry, Oscar Quintero. It's set to original music and arrangements by Gonzalo Córdoba and sung by me, Isabel Quintero.
Y tú, para mí, sabes quién eres. Un ángel encarnado en raza humana.
When I was a little girl, I remember I would see my father take out this manila envelope from a drawer in his desk, and inside there were these old yellowed papers, and he would read from them. And I was too little back then to really understand any of the poetry. By the time he was in his mid to late 20s, my father had written, hundreds of poems, and he carried them in a small suitcase. He went everywhere with them, especially at the time he was working for his father's mill, and he would drive shipments from town to town. On one particular route in between cities, he had to cross a river. There was a heavy rainstorm, and the river flooded. Everything had been lost, including his suitcase of poetry, and he was never able to bring himself to write poetry again. Once he was home safely, he found that he had separated a handful of poems into a manila envelope, and those are the ones that he would read from, that he's kept all of these years, and they are the poems that we used for La Osa Menor. Gonzalo Córdoba and I met in 2008. I asked him to help me with the project. I knew I wanted to do something with my father's poems, and we chose to start with Nocturno y Desesperación. It was like a Christmas gift to my dad, and we really thought it would just be one poem.
Esa noche anhelaba que ya todo terminara. Uy, me asqueaba. Ay, crueles somos tú y yo.
In 2015, and 10 poems later, we began recording La Osa Menor. They're Latin American rhythms, everything from bolero, cumbia, ranchera, samba, rumba, with some of the most talented local musicians. Gonzalo Córdoba on guitar, Thomas Kimball as producer and on bass, Raúl Fernández on percussion, Sacbe Pichardo, harp and accordion, Diego Salcedo, flute, electric guitar. They're all multi-instrumentalists and incredibly respected. The original music and arrangements by Gonzalo Córdoba are amazing.
Amor son los suspiros que emanas en mi ausencia. Amor es la emoción, ay, que siento con tu... Mas la cruel realidad de mi destino indicárame lo abrupto y lo silente. Por el roce de las ruedas con los rieles como dardos en el blanco de mi alma quedaron en esa tarde de sol. Oh, qué bueno es soñar con todo eso.
La Osa Menor has been a labor of love. I'm so proud of the CD. I'm so proud of Gonzalo, and I'm so proud of my dad.